Right, good morning everybody. It is the 1st of November, so I'm going to take you on a quick walk around the garden, show you how everything has been growing. So this is the entrance to our front door. This is what I see when I come home and I just love it so much. We'll just start with these dahlias over here. They're overwintered in a sheltered spot, so they are growing ahead of schedule and they just are so beautiful. Remind me of icing on a cupcake. I just love them. This little area I worked on yesterday. So the sweet pea trellis I had up here was too tiny. Sweet peas were all flopping over. So I took them down, restaked them, and that just looks so pretty to me. And these sweet peas are white and they smell like heaven. I have these 4 sunflowers in here, but they're the white ones as well. And the sweet alyssum, there were little gaps, and I planted from seed, filled up the gaps, and it's looking really nice right now. I have some gomphrena there and there. Anyway, I've got a few gompphrenas in there. I have dihibiscus in there, gara, and I think even some salvia. So hopefully that all grows really, really nicely. And then I have 2 dahlias, one over there, and then another one, a little pot one like that pink one that overwintered and has come up as a surprise. Then the strawberries, they're growing well, but I made a few mistakes there. I cut off all the flowers twice, thinking the plant would grow nice and strong, but what it did was it just started to send out runners so that it could multiply instead. So I've cut off the runners now. I bought some strawberry fertilizer yesterday, gave it a really good drink, so I'm hoping we can save them. The hanging baskets are filling in so nicely. Everything's a little bit floppy because it rained last night, but I've got some succulents too that are hanging over the ends. And just looking so lovely, really. Before I move on, I'll just show you the parsley. I've replanted the coriander. I think we overpicked it, so I have to put some more in the ground. Got this new little cute garden growing here, and there was just weeds growing there, so I mulched it and planted some succulents in there, and just an extra plant. I think that's Nigella, but I'm not sure. We'll see when it flowers. And then this is just this little side alley, which is also my nursery. Gets 3 or 4 hours of sun a day, so it's perfect for my seedlings to grow over here. They don't get too hot and burnt. So I've got cosmos, lavender white, this is lavender purple, carnations, African daisy, dara. This is my lemon coral sedum. I just trimmed my plant at school in the week, and I've come to repot it here. That's pink lavender. So that's all going to go in the little rock garden. This is mostly hollyhocks, more dahlia cactus. Yeah, and some other things over here. Gomphrena, what's that? Penstemon, verbascum. That's Nigella African Bride. And that's a dahlia cutting, which I failed at. But I'll try again. Here we have some snapdragons. So yeah. here's our arch with our star jasmine. As you can see, any day now we should just be covered in flowers. There's the other one. The one is doing better with the sweeter blossom than the other, just obviously gets better sun. Here we have our little tiny flower bed with the Cafe au lait and the Portulaca in the front. I've had 2 flowers there, but I think the Cafe au lait is going to take over. It's looking really good, big and healthy. I'm just waiting for some flowers now. There's nothing really interesting going on here that has changed. I just put 2 tomato cages up, and the sweet peas are starting to flower. Yeah, I can see how much it rained last night, 6.5 millimeters, which is good enough to give everything a good drink. And these sweet peas, man, they smell so nice. I just love them. I just love them so much. Interesting how the one side is growing so much better than the other. Hopefully by the end of the month, everything will have caught up to each other. So I'll be working on this flower bed in this month. I'll take out these calendulas, because they don't do very well in the hot weather, and they really get a fungal infection every time, because I tend to plant my plants very close together, and they just don't look so good for the whole season. So they'll come out, and I'll have plenty to replace them with. And this is a new little area that's changed since the last time. I just had too many sunflowers. I didn't know what to do with them, so those are 5 white ones in there. This is the rock garden where all that lavender is going to go in, and the verbascum, thyme, penstemon, lots of things. I've got hebe. Right, so this flower bed is growing. Things are coming up lovely. This is the marigolds. I noticed in my last video when I pointed it out, you couldn't even see there was anything planted there. I have since put in my dahlias are all in the ground. Everywhere where you see a post, there's a dahlia that's coming. Excuse me. Put some more sunflowers in here because I just had too many. The dahlias that I grew from seed are here along the back. Now, the problem with growing from seed is you just don't know what you're going to get. So this dahlia is quite unimpressive compared to the rest that are coming. So, am I going to keep it or pull it out? I'm not sure. The cosmos is also coming along nicely. I've got some straw flowers in between. This is ranunculus, and there's some more. They're at the end of the season, so I'm just letting them sort of die back now, send the energy back into the bowls for next year. Sweet peas on the back. They're growing. They're growing. Any day now I'll be able to tie them to the fence post. I just got the first one up on Friday. You'll see they're starting to do its thing, and once it's grabbed on, then it starts to grow really, really fast. So this whole trellis hopefully will also be covered in sweet peas. A romance mix. This is our little entrance to our storage area. Fatty just said last night he thinks we should plant it closed and use the other entrance, so just think about that a little bit more before I do it. I obviously have the plants. I just also like the convenience of just walking back here and grabbing my tools. They're hanging up there. and all of our wood is stored there. So we'll just quickly think about it and make a decision. Looks a bit dark now. It is early morning, but that dahlia is up. In fact, all the dahlias are up except for that one over there and that one over there. So I'm not sure what's going on. I've dug in the ground there and I feel the stump and there's no shoot. So I'll wait a little bit longer before I should just pull the whole thing up and see what's going on. And then there, I don't know either. But it's not too bad going. I think it was 28 in total and 2 are not up. Sunflower, cosmos, strawflower, snapdragon, cosmos, snapdragon, sunflowers, snapdragons. I just moved those out of a pot. They were being overtaken. Then I have some more like fluffy things here. The Amy Magus, which is known as Queen Anne's lace. I'm sure that is, it looks like the same thing. Oh, that would be Nigella. And that's Gara. So it's all like nice fluffy plants which are fillers for bouquets. Cosmos, apricot, lemonade. This one's so pretty. Much smaller than I imagined. Still very pretty. And on this side I have the double click snow puff coming up. I have a hibiscus at the back there. Those are gladiolis. And then a bunch of dahlias here. These are the dahlias, the dwarf ones that I grew from seed, and then those are the tubers that went in the ground. That one is doing amazing. So if you can imagine, all the places where you see a pole should be covered and more by the end of the season. That's why I have so many stakes in the ground, to help them out. If you put the stake in afterwards, you can damage the tuber. So I know it looks a bit funny now when you just see all of these poles, but all of those poles have a beautiful plant planted right with them. So it's all very exciting. Just yesterday I cleaned up this lime tree area. Again, just weeds. We have all these sort of problem areas in the garden, which I'm trying to get to now, that I'm finished with my bed. So I just weeded it out, gave it some food and mulched it nicely. And the sunflower hedge rather, is growing. Just on Monday, the sunflower was just peeking out from under the deck, and now it is Sunday and it is sticking out all the way. So going really well. I'm using a corral method, I think. So you just take your twine and you go behind, in front and behind, and in front and behind, in front and behind, and then you turn and you go in the opposite direction, just to keep them staked up nicely, because they do need the support. These ones here, not growing well. Can't tell you what's the difference. Next year I'll do this differently, but for now this will do. It was just an experiment. I'll just walk past the pots here. This is also Cosmos Apricot Lemonade. Seems to be less yellow than the other one I just showed you. But it is really, really beautiful. The more you look at it, the more beautiful it is. And this is just one plant, and already so many flowers. Interestingly, this pot and that pot were planted on the same day. So I don't know what is happening. They were in opposite positions. So yesterday I switched them around. Then I gave that one compost and blood and bone over the top of the surface. And I just worked it in. See if that pot wants to catch up. Another dahlia that overwintered. Another dahlia. It's the same as that first pink one that I showed you. It's just the first flower. I haven't seen this yet. So pretty. I've got snapdragons around it. And then there's 2 more pots over there. That's my little greenhouse. I've moved it back here. There just gets more sun. So I have more plants coming over there. So they go from John's windowsill, which is a bay window. That's where the seeds germinate. Once they're up, they go here. And they're sheltered and they still get sun. They get water every day. Once they're big enough, they go to that alleyway to get hardened off and deal with the wind and the rain and the sun. And then once they're big enough there, they come into the garden. So here is that. did the paving here today and we staked the back. I put 2 rows of twine over there so that John and his friends wouldn't constantly walk through the flower bed and trample all of the plants. And then Leah helped me. We weeded and we weeded and we weeded, and then she helped me to plant. We went to the little alleyway nursery over there and we grabbed whatever we could find. So what did we plant, Leah? Do you remember?
So we have hollyhocks at the back, chocolate lace flowers, and then we have African daisy, and then in the very front we have carnation.
So this morning when I was going through the garden, I noticed some dahlia problems. And the first one was over here. Nothing was coming up. So I dug it up today. Looks like the tube is just dead, all dried up, no action there. So I threw it away. Then over here there was another stake in the ground with the dahlia, and again, no action. Pulled it up, and it looked like it sort of had some life in it. So I've got it in a pot, and we'll see if it wants to grow. But for now, I can plant something else over there. So stakes out the ground, and we have some more space. And the last one was out the ground, growing, but wilted. So we took the fork and we stuck it in and we lifted the tuber, and it was just covered in insects. They looked like pink aphids, which I've never seen before. So obviously something had attacked the tuber under the ground. The plant wasn't doing well. It would have died in any ways. So pulled it up. I took 2 cuttings from it though, dipped it in little hormone liquid, and we've put it into pots. So maybe I can get 2 plants and hopefully I've saved it. Maybe not though, because I tried to do that last week and I killed that one. So I have to see what happens. Hey Fatty. So I've just been counting the dahlias grown from tubers that are actually up, 24. The sunflowers, including all 5 varieties, how many?
77.
And just plants in the ground grown from seed comes to
350.
Yeah, so that's not including
a lot,
the
eh?
dahlia tubers or little bits and bobs that I actually have bought from the shop. So wonder how many plants we have here in total, probably over 500.